So you made a beautiful holiday wreath and you're like, this is gonna go. I did all the right tag words, my photos are beautiful, I can't wait for this to sell. But, lo and behold, it didn't sell. So what do? Do you take a holiday wreath and pack it up for the following year and just let it sit? Or is there something that you can do to transform it? Okay, so what we're gonna do here is I made a St. Patrick's Day wreath, and we're going to just swap out the bow, and it's going to be an entirely different wreath that hopefully will not sit, at my workshop for a year. So let's just do this one really quick, easy change. All right, so as you can see, it's a pretty neutral wreath. As you can see, this is a pretty neutral wreath. I had it ready to ship. I even put all the tissue paper in the bows, but it didn't work out. Does this girl love St. Patrick's Day? Yep. Does everybody? Not so much. So I'm going to take this bow out. I'm just going to save this for next year. Just because it didn't work out this year doesn't mean it's not going to sell. And what I'm going to do is, because this wreath is just so neutral, I could really take this in any direction, but we're going to use the bow that I just made using the Deluxe Easy Bow Maker. Okay. And if I wanted to, I could also add, some pieces of blue in here. But for this purpose, I honestly think this is going to be fine just the way it is. So now I'm going to market it as a spring wreath, a chinoise wreath, wreath for chinoise lovers, porch decor, all those buzzwords, okay? And we're going to give this wreath new life and a new opportunity to be sold, okay? So that was our St. Patrick's Day wreath. This was the only Valentine's Day wreath that I made. And I don't have as much luck with holiday wreaths as other people do, so it might just be the people that I'm marketing to aren't into it, or I'm just not, it's just not my, what's the right word? It's just not where I thrive. So anyways, so I could leave the pink bow on. We could just say, this is a cute pink wreath, but I think it's just too pink. So I'm just going to, again, take this off. It's nice because it's got the pick on it. And I'm going to use a bow that I already made. So really, I'm not using any other materials. It's not costing me any more than what I had already spent. And I'm going to put this in. Okay, and just lighten it up. So now I'm going to take down my Valentine's Day wreath listing and list, a beautiful spring peony wreath with hydrangeas, wreath with big bow, peony bow, pink and white wreath, all of those things. So I guess the point is that not everything is going to sell, but that doesn't mean that there's something wrong with it. I would actually say that if you have, let me see where this goes. So if you have a wreath that doesn't sell, there could be many reasons, and most of them might not have anything to do with the actual design. So it could be our SEOs, how we've titled it, how we've categorized it. On Etsy, you want to make sure that you fill out every single option that they have. So when it says that, what is the holiday, you're going to pick the next holiday. So you'd pick Easter. When Easter's gone, you're going to say Mother's Day. When it asks the diameters, when it asks, is it farmhouse? Every single thing on that listing page you should fill out, including the SKU. I don't really know what the SKU actually translates to, but it does tend to have a better chance of selling. I think the only thing I don't do is like that tariff thing. So if you don't sell a wreath, in no way, shape, or form is it a failure. It just means that it didn't find the right buyer at the right time. So especially with holiday wreaths, it's a very short window and people buy way in advance. But at this point, Valentine's Day is long gone. St. Patrick's Day is next week. So I'd rather get these like ready to sell and hopefully just get them for somebody who's looking for spring. So again, if you have something that doesn't sell, take a look at the words. Photos are huge. If your photos are dark or they're not set properly, buyers just don't have a lot of faith. So they need to be taken in natural lighting, which means you got to kind of time it right. I like to do it on my entryway, so I even have artificial boxwoods on either side. I've got my mat, so it kind of lays out like what ideally an entrance could look like. You know, and once it's warm enough, it's going to have flowers and all, you know, all the things. So, you know, you can also take a look at your photos and also include videos. So you can add a video to any Etsy listing. Hello, Winnie. They have to be a minimum of 5 seconds. So I always forget, and I always do 4 seconds, and then I kick myself. So, and they also allow for 10 photos. So you want to make sure that every single photo slot is filled. Even if it means you took 5 photos and then you use them twice, that is still going to give Google a chance. Every bit of information that you put on a listing, Google has a chance to grab it and give it to the customer who's doing the search. So don't leave anything blank, and, you know, continue to change your SEOs. If they're not working for you, you know, I would definitely recommend changing a few. You don't want to go crazy and change everything all at once, because then you won't know what part is working and what's not. But I would do a few, you know, and, you know, you can Google it, you can use AI. There's a lot of different places. Some people sell SEO, you know, books on SEOs. So there's a lot of different resources out there, because I know sometimes I struggle. I'm like, how many ways can I describe a wreath? But there are a lot of ways, and you have to think like your customer. So if you go onto Etsy and you look at the bar where you would type in what you want, start off with spring wreath, and then all of these other things are going to pre-populate. Spring wreath with peonies, spring wreath for front door, spring wreath for porch. Wording that maybe I don't use, like I don't have a porch, but other people are using it, and they're using it enough that it's actually pre-populating on Etsy. So that is a really great way to find out how to get to the right customer. So I hope this information helps. Thank you for watching the video, and I will see you guys again soon.